Alright guys, let me know if you are able to hear our sound. Is the voice clear? Let us know please in the comments. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay, so voice is clear now, and we can start with this tutorial for solving all of the exercises that we gave you in previous tutorial, which was about conditions. And before starting it, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience that I've caused you in the previous live session. There was some technical issue due to which we were not able to, broadcast our audio along with the software. It was some software related issue, but now we are back and ready for this video tutorial. So without wasting any time, let's get started. All right, so these are the questions that I gave you in previous tutorial that we studied, and in this tutorial, in this exercise, we have our first question where we have to find the greater number. Okay, so we have to take two numbers from the user, and then we have to find the greater number, that which number is greater among the others. Okay, so what we will be doing is we will take two numbers from the user. So I'm going to say input 1 is equals to yeah, one more thing, we are, our PyCharm is now working fine. In previous live session it wasn't working well, but I don't know, I mean now it's working good. Okay, so I'm going to do like eval input, input, and then we're going to say like enter number 1. Okay, so first we are asking the user to input the number 1, and then let's take the number 2 again, eval input enter number 2. Yeah, that's right. Now we are asking both numbers from the user, so user will input two integer numbers, and now we have to find which one is greater. So I'm gonna use some comments over here. So I'm gonna say like get two numbers from user. These comments will help you to understand this more clearly. So now we will basically check which number is greater. Now we will say like if input 1 is greater than the input 2, then print input 1 is greater. Okay, just like that, we're gonna say like elif input 1 is less than input 2, print input 2 is greater. Okay, so no matter which number you input, all this will do is it will first check like if is input 1 greater than input 2. Yes, input 1 is greater than input 2, then it will print out this one. If input 1 is not greater than input 2, it will go to the elif statement and check is input 1 is less than input 2. If that's the case, then it's going to print like input 2 is greater. But there arise one more case where input 1 and input 2 will be equal to each other. So for that, we don't need to go for another elif condition. Either input 1 will be greater, less, or equal to that. So we have checked for greater and less over here. Now all we can do is we can just input as an else statement, which will basically tell that both inputs are equal. So we can say like both inputs are equal. Okay, now let's run this and see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna run this. Sorry, wrong one. Okay, let's run this, and you can see over here number 1. I'm gonna hit number 1 as 1 and number 2 is 2. Now as you can see, 2 is greater, so this is taking the number in number 2. What happened over here is 1 greater than number 2? That is 2 basically. Is 1 greater than 2? No. Then it will go to the elif condition. It will check like is 1 less than 2? Yeah, that's true. So this will execute this statement and will leave the rest. Okay, you can test it one more time by adding the equal number. So I can say like input number 1 is 5, number 2 is 5. That is input 1 is 5, input 2 is 5, and then you can say like both inputs are equal. So that's how basically it will check for inputs. So this is basically our question number 1, and then let's move on to the question number 2. That is basically asking us to take a character from the user. Okay, we need to take a character from a user and then check if it is a vowel or consonant. Vowel is basically the characters which comes like A, E, I, O, U. So all of these 5 characters are considered as vowel, and any character except these characters are considered as consonant. So we need to figure out which one is vowel, which one is consonant. So what we are going to do is we're going to say like, okay, let's get the input from user. Okay, so we are going to get the input from user. So we're going to say like input, or yeah, input. So we're going to get the input, and I'm going to say like input and then enter a character. Okay, remember over here we used eval, but over here we have not used eval. Why is that so? That is because eval basically converts the string into the number. Over here the input method, input statement will always give you the input as an string. Okay, so whenever you will get a the data from the user, from the input function, you will always get it in string format. So you cannot perform the arithmetic operations on a string variable. So in order to convert that string into the number type, you need eval, that will basically get the value of that input. Okay, but over here what we need is character. So character can be a string, so basically we don't need to use eval over here. So I'm going to say like let's change the input to something else, because input is also a method. So I'm going to take it like char, that's it. Yeah, so this is basically the character that user inputs. Now we're going to check like if char is equals to a. So we check for a. Okay, oh sorry, yeah, if char equals to a, or as I told you before that you can use or to check for multiple conditions. Char equals to b, sorry, a, e, or again char equals to I, or char equals to o, and similarly like that, char equals to a, e, I, o, u. Yeah, a, e, I, o, u. That there we go. Okay, so what over here is Python will come over here and it's going to check like if char equals to a. If that's the case, then that's okay. It's going to go to the next statement without going for these another conditions. Okay, but if char is not equals to a, then it will go for another character, that is e. Okay, now it will check like is the char that is inputted from the user is equals to e. If this is the case, it will skip the rest of the conditions and go for the anything that is written inside this if statement. If this is not the case, then it will go to the next condition, which is char equals to I. If this matches, again it will go to the if without going for other conditions. So basically or is basically used where you want to check whether this or this, any of this condition returns true, that is that is a win. It will go to this statement and execute whatever written below this. So over here anything that is equals to this is basically a vowel. So we will print like inputted character is a vowel. Oh sorry, typo. Yeah, inputted character is a vowel, else the inputted character is a consonant. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So basically what will happen over here is it's going to check like is char equals to one of the vowels. If that is true, then it will print like inputted character is a vowel. If otherwise, it is a consonant. So let's run this up and see what happens. So I'm going to input a, and this is going to say inputted character is a vowel. That means it's a vowel. Now let's print something which is not a vowel, which is a consonant. So I'm going to input b. Hit enter, inputted character is a consonant. So that's how easy it is. So first two questions were really basic, that can be solved pretty easily. So this should not give you the hard time. Next two are a little bit difficult. So let's move on to the third question, which is kind of long as well. So over here, let's read out the question first. Let's try to understand what this is asking for and then move on to the solution. So what it's asking for is like, ask user to enter their age and whether they found any girl for marriage or not. Yeah, it's kind of a funny question. And add below checks on their age and whether they found any girl. Okay, so we basically need to check if a person is eligible for marriage or not, and whether he have found any girl or not. Okay, so this is a very simple and basic question. Okay, we have a hint over here. Okay, and hint says take age and found any girl variable. So we need to take two variables, that is age and found any girl variables. Okay, so we need to take two variables. I mean, these two variables are fixed. We have to use these variables in order to solve this question. Moving on, use 0 for not found and 1 for found in found any girl. Okay, as we have not studied booleans, we will have to use 0 and 1 for found and not found for found any girl. But I'm guessing like it is right time for you guys to teach about boolean data type in this video session. Okay, so we will also study about boolean, as it is mentioning like, or use boolean true or false if you are familiar with it. So now by watching this live session, you will be able to familiar with the boolean data type as well. So this is a bonus for you guys. All right, moving on with the question, we have some conditions over here that is pretty easy and helpful. Okay, so what this is saying, like if age is less than 21, then display this. That is okay. If age is in between 21 and 40 and found any girl, then display this. Okay, so there is one thing clear though. Over here we have to check for is age is less than 21. That is the only condition that we need to check. That means if we found any girl, even though we will have to print like not eligible for marriage, no need to find anyone either, just study. Okay, so age is less than 21, you don't need to find any girl, just focus on your study because you have a bright future ahead. Okay, so but if it is in between 21 and 40, that means you are eligible for marriage and you can find any girl for you. So then we have to check like, is the person dating someone? I mean, does he found any girl and anything like that? So we need to check for that as well. And if this is the case, let's get married. If he does not found any girl, then print like find a girl quickly because you may die single if you cross 40. So that's a pretty condition. And after that, there are two more conditions. So we are going to solve these conditions one by one so that it gives you a really easy way. Okay, so that you guys could understand this pretty easily. So we're going to go with the first condition over here. Okay, so but before that, let's take the two variables that we are talking about. So we have to take two variables from the user. So first I'm going to take like age, which is equals to, age will be basically an input number. So we will take like eval input and we're going to say like enter your age. All right, yeah. And then we have to check like found any girl. Okay, eval input, did you found any girl for marriage? Okay. All right, so user will obviously enter something over here. So yeah, so let's ask user to enter 0 or 1 for now. 0 1, 0 means it's false and 1 means true. Okay, so if he inputs 0, that means he does not found, and if he inputs 1, that means he found someone. Okay, so we took both of these variables that are defined in the hint, and now let's move on to the condition. So if age is less than 21, then display this. Okay, so we need to check like if age is less than 21, print. That is pretty easy. Okay, so I'm gonna print this one if age is less than 21. Okay, so first we will check like if age is less than 21, not eligible for marriage, no need to find anyone either, just study. Okay, so now let's run this and see what happens. So I'm going to run this. It will ask me to enter my age. Let's say I enter my age as 5. Hit enter. Did you find any girl for marriage? Yes. Enter. Not eligible for marriage, no need to find anyone either, just study. So if you found anyone for marriage, just tell her to stay away from you until you turn 21. Okay, so this is basically our first condition for the question. Now let's moving on to the second condition. If age is in between 21 and 40 and found any girl, then display this. Okay, So now we need to check elif, okay, because we will be chaining these conditions. It could be either this or either the other conditions. So elif age is in between 21 and 40. So we need to check like if elif age is in between 21 and 40. So I'm gonna show you the the long cut, and then I'm gonna show you the shortcut as well. So the long path for checking this condition is like if age is greater than 21 and age is less than 40, because we need to check the age should be in between 21 and 40. So if age is less than 21, greater than 21, and age is less than 40, and found any girl. So and found any girl, we need to print this. Let's get married. So I'm just gonna copy paste this one. Yes, and over here. Okay, so what PyCharm is telling us that you can simplify this chained expression. As you may have already guessed, what will happen over here is age is less than 21. Okay, that's true, and then it is and, so we have to check the next condition as well, because this is and. If there were or, we would not check for the next condition, we will directly go to the print statement, but there is and, so we have to make sure that the other condition should satisfy. So age should be less than 21 and age should be less than 40. Sorry, age should be greater than 21 and age should be less than 40, and found any girl. So PyCharm is saying like you can write it as this. So elif 21 is less than age less than 40. That simply means age is in between 21 and 40. That is true. Okay, so as you are saying, like if age is in between 21 and 40, so if age is in between 21 and 40 and found any girl, let's get married. That is pretty easy. But 21 is a valid age for marriage, so I'm gonna include 21 and I'm gonna include 40 as well. As you may have watched the previous video, we have this to check that this value have this value as well. If I do not add equals to sign over here, it will be like 21 is less than age. So if age is 21, this would still return us false, but now it will return us true if age is 21, because now this is saying like age should be greater than or equals to 21 and less than or equals to 40. So if you are in between this age, including these values as well, you are ready for marriage, and just go ahead and marry someone. Okay, so this is basically our second condition. Now let me run this one and see. Yeah, one more thing that we have over here, let's just check it out first. So our age is more than 21. I'm gonna keep it 21. Okay, so age and found any girl, yes, and let's get married. Boom. So yeah, I were also supposed to tell you about the Boolean expressions. Boolean is all about 0 and 1. So yeah, this is basically 0 and 1 Boolean. So I don't need to check like found any girl is equals to 1. We don't need to check that. We can do that, and this will also work. Let me show you that as well. Okay, so I can write like age is 22 this time, and found any girl for marriage, yes, let's get married. We are still getting it, and we can omit this, we can remove this from our condition, and this will still work. Why? Because this is a Boolean type. If you are working with Booleans, you do not need to check for equal equals to 1 or equal equals to 0, because Booleans have only 0 and 1 values, and Python automatically converts that. If you think that you should have an integer or a number value, you can just check for the equal equals to thing like this, equal equals to. Okay, then you can compare it with some other value. But if you know that this is a Boolean and it will only accept 0 and 1, you can just go with the Boolean. You don't need to check for 0 or 1 condition. You can just say like this condition and found any girl. That is more readable, more convenient for you. Okay, so I'm gonna again set it 25 and yes, and this will say like let's get married. So you don't need to check for 0 and 1. 0 and 1 are basically considered as Booleans in programming, not just in Python, in any programming language that we will study in future. Found any girl is basically a Boolean over here because it accepts only 0 and 1. So you can do it like this as well. So here goes with the second condition. The third condition that we have in this question is if age is in between 21 and 40 and not found any girl, then display this message. So as we were doing this, you must be able to solve all of these conditions now, but we are going to solve them right now over here. Okay, so age is in between 21 and 40, so we can just copy paste this condition because this condition is same. And then he's saying like, and not found any girl. So and not found any girl. Okay, now you must be thinking how we will check for not found any girl. You have this a very handy symbol in Python, yeah, that is not. What this will check is, as I told you, 0 is not. So if age is less than, it should be greater than or equals to 21 and less than equals to 40 and not found any girl. That is pretty readable if you will look into this. Anyone can understand like, okay, age is in between this and this value and not found any girl. That is pretty readable as well. So this is the beauty of Python that you will see. So let's copy paste the thing that we need to print over here. Yes, this is a message. Let me copy that quickly. Okay, paste it. Now if age is in between 21 and 40 and not found any girl, then it will say like, find a girl quickly because you may die single if you cross 40. So let's run this out and see what happens. Okay, so I say like my age is 30. Actually it's not 30, but let's say it's 30. And no, I didn't found any girl, so it's a 0. Find a girl quickly because you may die single if you cross 40. Oh my god. Alright, so this is basically the simple condition. You can see you can basically check for other conditions as well, and they will work perfectly. Like if I enter 19, I'm not eligible for the marriage, but yes, I found any girl. Not eligible for marriage, no need to find anyone either, just study. Okay, now I can also write like 22 and no, yes, I found someone, so let's get married. So all conditions are working perfectly fine with each other. So now let's move on to the other conditions that we have in the question. So the next condition is basically, if age is above 40 and found any girl, then display this message: you are really lucky because it's really difficult to get someone at this age. Hurry up and get married before she leaves you and you die single. So we're gonna check it like if, okay, I'm gonna do it quickly. Age is above 40, so age is greater than 40, that means should be 41 or plus. And found any girl, that is pretty easy. You guys must be able to solve this now. So found any girl, so yeah, we need to print this message. So I'm just gonna copy paste this one over here. Okay, whoops, forgot one semicolon, I guess. Jesus, this copy paste, yeah, done. So okay, all this is saying is, this is long text. So if age is greater than 40 and found any girl, you will print like, you are really lucky because it's really difficult to get someone at this age. Hurry up and get married before she leaves you and you die single. That's okay. So we have this print statement as well, if age is greater than 40. And for the last one, if age is over 40 and not found any girl. Well, we don't need to input another elif statement for this one, because just imagine, age is less than 21 is checked over here. Age is in between 21 and 40 and found any girl. Okay, age is in between 21 and 40, found not found any girl. So this condition is checked. These two conditions together is making sure that age is in between 21 and 40 and it does not come down. Okay, so if it is coming down to this condition, that itself means that age is not in between 21 and 40. You will get to know this as with practice. Okay, so you need to practice more and then you will understand why this all will happen. So then after that, elif condition comes and it says like, is age is greater than 40 and found any girl. Okay, so we check for age is less than, we check for age is in between 21 and 40, we checked that is age greater than 40. So now all that's left is age is greater than 40 and not found any girl. So for that you can just input else statement without using elif statement. Okay, you don't need to check for any conditions now, because the only case that is left over here for you is age is above 40 and not found any girl. So you don't need to check for this condition. This is natural that the thing that is left is this condition. So we are just gonna print the message that is displayed in the question over here. So no need to find anyone, you will die single. Now let's run this program and see what happens. So I say my age is above 40, that is 41, and yes, I found someone. So you are really lucky because it's really difficult to get someone at this age. Hurry up and get married before she leaves you and you die single. And after that, say my age is 42, above 40, and I do not found anyone. So no need to find anyone, you will die single. So that is basically the program that you may faced some difficulties while solving up. This basically doesn't have any, you know, any critical logics. This is basically a lengthy program that you may find, you know, difficult to solve. It's just lengthy program. It does not include any operations and other stuff as well. So moving on to the last question, which is the difficult question in this exercise. The most difficult question in this exercise is to ask student to enter his 5 subjects marks. Okay, so he'll have to input marks of his 5 subjects, and then we have to calculate which grade he have. So we also have the options over here. So if the percentage is 90 plus, it's A. If percentage is 80 plus, it's B, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna solve that as well. So we're gonna input 5 numbers. So let's say English is equals to eval input, enter marks in English, and all of them are out of 100. Okay, so maths, I was a commerce student, so I'm gonna input commerce subjects, enter marks in maths. Okay, then we're gonna ask for say business, enter marks in business, or what do we have? Okay, accounts, enter marks in accounts. So we're just gonna get 5 subjects. Okay, so economics, or if I have to write it properly, economics. Okay, so we have 5 subjects over here, 3 and 2, 4. Yeah, so we have 5 subjects over here. Now we need to find the percentage of these 5 subjects. Well, all of these subjects are out of 100. You can also write a helping print statement before asking for the input, so that user gets an idea like what he's supposed to do. So you can say like marks are counted as out of 100, anything like that. Okay, so that other person could know that yeah, it's out of 100. So now we have these marks and we need to find the percentage. So for that we need to say like sum of marks, or I can say like total marks. Yeah, so total marks is basically the sum of all of these marks. So English plus maths, whoops, plus all of us used to find percentages of our exams in past, you know, when we were in schools, or if you are still in school, you might be finding percentages of your, so total percent obtained that you have. So total percent is basically this is the total marks out of 500. So you're gonna say like it should be like total marks divided by the 500, because it's like you have total 5 subjects, so each contain 100 marks. So if you sum up all of them, it will be 500, and then you want to multiply this by 100. That is basically the finding the percentage of your total marks. You can also say it like total marks divided by 5, but let's keep it proper formatted. So it's total marks divided by 500 multiplied by 100. This is how basically you will find the percentage. You can say like find percentage, and then you can say over here is find total marks obtained. Okay, and get marks. Okay, so now we have the percentage. Now all we need to do is to perform the conditional statements to check which grade he have. So we're gonna say like okay, but before that I'm gonna print the percentage as well. So you've got total percent, you've got total percent, okay, so that we could know like what is our percentage and is our condition working fine or not. So moving on to the first condition, if the percentage is more than 90, the grade is A. So if total percent is greater than 90, or yeah, is greater than 90, we're gonna print like grade A. Okay, so just like that, we're gonna say elif total percent is greater than 80. So if it is greater than 80, print grade B. Elif total percent is greater than 70, print grade C. Let me copy that because we have to paste it again and again, or maybe this whole condition. Yes. Okay, so if total percentage is greater than 60, we're gonna input D. If total percentage is greater than 50, we will give him the grade of E. And yeah, above 50 the grade is E, and anyone below 50 is basically considered as fail. So we don't need to check for any other condition after E. We can just input else and print sorry you are failed, better luck next time. All right. Yeah, so now this is basically the program. What we did is, first we got the marks of all 5 subjects, then we added those marks, and then we found the percentage of these total marks out of 500. That is the total marks, and this is the total marks obtained. So after that we printed the percentage, and then we checked like if percentage is greater than 90, print A. If percentage is greater than 80, print B. If percentage is greater than 70, print C. If percentage is 75, what will happen over here is gonna check like percentage is greater than 90. No, 75 is not greater than 90, come down. 75 is greater than 80, nope, come down. 75 is greater than 70, yes, go to grade C and do not execute anything that is written below this. So this is basically how you can solve the conditions pretty easily. So I'm gonna run this and see what happens. So we have to input marks. So let's achieve something greater than 90. So I'm gonna input above 90 marks in all of the subjects. So 99 in English, say 98 in maths. Since business is 92, I wasn't good at business. Account have 95, and economics have 93. Grade A. All right, now we're gonna input marks below 80, so that we could see like 77 in English, 72, and then 75, 73, and 72. And as you can see, you've got 73.8% marks. That is grade C because it is greater than 70. That's it. Let's write another condition for checking if he will fail or not. So I'm gonna just input 1 1 1 2 1, and you've got 1.2%. So you are failed, better luck next time. So that's it. This was the exercise that I've gave you in previous video, and I will be putting the more exercises into the description, so you can come back after 5 or 10 minutes and you will find that description and everything is modified so that you could get the questions. So we have new questions ready, and you can get the questions after some time, like 5 to 10 minutes. After some minutes later, you can come back to our channel and get the questions that we have in this exercise. Okay, I will be putting the answers and questions both into a link. So if you feel like you need to solve more questions, you can find those questions link into the description, and you can go to the link and then solve more questions for yourself, and you can basically get these answers as well and understand how they are working. I will basically comment them properly for you guys so that you could understand what's going on in all of these questions. So that's it for this video tutorial. Thank you for being with us. Hope you have a good day, and stay tuned and keep trying. If you find any difficulties, please let us know. We will be happy to help you out. And if you have not subscribed us yet, please subscribe to us, because we are bringing tech related videos for you every week. That's it for this video tutorial. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.